This, of course, is the Chronic Tacos Rustlers Review right here on SportsNetUSA.net. Of course, brought to you by Chronic Tacos Huntington Beach at Terra. Wake up early and treat yourself to a hearty breakfast burrito. Or if you're trying to watch the carbs a little bit, get yours in a bowl with the Breakfast Bowl-rito, made fresh with your choice of chorizo, bacon, machaca, or veggie. Chronic Tacos open Sunday through Thursday, 8:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. and 8:30 to 9:30 on the weekends. Located inside the Terra Shopping Center, 7621 Edinger Avenue, or by phone 714-890-6100. That's Chronic Tacos Huntington Beach at Terra. Make sure you visit them today. Now, you got a young quarterback. Offense had its issues. You find yourselves trailing by double digits in this one. But you showed some fight in that fourth quarter. Carr able to lead a couple of touchdown drives. What did you like about what you saw from him in that fourth quarter?
Yeah, there's no give up. I mean, he's a young kid. He's going to struggle. Our young quarterbacks are going to struggle. That's kind of, what's happening right now. But to not quit, to play for the 4 quarters, it's the same thing that we talk about week in and week out. The game is really, I try to break it down into 2 games. We got the first half game, and then we got to go in, sit down, talk about it, and we'll come back for the second half game. And play for 4 quarters, 1 play at a time, all of that. So there's frustration on the sidelines, and at times a lot of it, and rightly so, because guys want to, play well, they want to succeed, they want to win. But there was no quit ever. Defensively, we got caught a couple times on some miscommunications, lack of assignment, which hurt us. But there was never any, dropping back, taking a step back. It was always moving forward, full go, still flying around, still being physical, still getting after it. I would expect – late in the fourth quarter, we try to condition them pretty well. We try to talk to them about finishing the quarters and the games and the drives and the plays, that we would be, in a situation where we're still going to have an opportunity to win at the end of the game, even though the game did not go our way for, a large portion of it. We are in a situation, 1 score. If we can get it done, if we can get a stop on D, then we still have a chance to win.
Another bright spot to that fourth quarter was the fact that it halted a 5-quarter streak of the offense not being able to get into the end zone. I think it was second quarter was the last time the offense have scored. Second quarter against Riverside. Right. So that's 5 consecutive quarters they weren't able to get into the end zone. You think you found something there?
Well, we're looking for anything that we could build off of on the offensive side. So without a doubt, some of the young men over there are playing well, and some need to step up their game and play at a higher level. So for us as coaches, it's a matter of, continuing to foster those young men that are playing well and work to get those men that are not playing to their full ability to do that. We think that there is a lot of good on the offensive side if we can just get them playing consistently at a high level. And right now we're not doing that. So that when we do see such things like the fourth quarter, that's what we expect. I know it's almost like, hey, great, we have something to build off. But really, that's totally expected and how it should be. And the fact that it takes us to the fourth quarter to get something like that going is really more of, I'd say a disappointment in my view, as opposed to the positive. But in the big picture, it's all positive. Anytime we can get the ball moving and score points, just because we're young and struggling.
Yeah, one of those touchdowns was a 31-yard strike from Carr to Sheldon White. That's our Chronic Tacos Terra fresh take of the week. A 31-yard pitch and catch on somewhat of a skinny post to White, and that was able to get the Rustlers to within 11, made it 21-10. Rustlers, of course, fall to Chaffey 24-16. Kind of a weird ending to this one. I'll ask you a couple of questions about some things we saw over the last 2 possessions of that game. You can say as much or as little as you want. I can't pay your fine, Coach. I'm sorry. So if you want to keep it to a minimum, I certainly
Good
understand.
Thing it's JC, they don't fine.
The first one, my partner in the booth, Andrew King, and I, we were just going crazy. It's a 4th down play. You guys are driving, looking to perhaps able to get in the end zone. If you get 6 in the 2-point conversion, perhaps you can tie it at 24 apiece. It was to Derek Deese. It was a 4th down catch. 4th down marker was at the 40. It looked like he got right to the sticks, if not a little bit beyond the sticks by our vantage point.
Right.
Can you ask for a measurement in a situation like that?
Yeah, you can totally ask for a measurement. The problem was that where they placed the ball, it was clear that where they placed the ball, it wasn't close, so the measurement wasn't going to happen. And we had, it was on our sideline. The sticks are on our sideline. So where that side judge marked the ball and set the ball, it was clear that it was not a first down. Now you can argue about, was the spot proper? We did not feel that it was a proper spot, but that's up to the ref, and the ref is not right there. The refs are running to the point where they feel that his progress was stopped. And that can be somewhat subjective from time to time because you're not there as a referee. You have to see it, run over to it, and then try to determine, because he was tackled and then tackled backwards. So where then did that initial progress stop? We don't think they got it right. We ended up coming short. Ultimately, it's our job to be far enough so that it's not close. That would be ideal, but that was not the situation. And so we put it in the hands of the refs, and we always talk about not putting it in the hands of the referees. We do what we need to do so we can take the refs out of the game. You put a situation like that where it's up to the ref to determine exactly where it was, we're going to get some and we're going to lose some.
Ensuing possession. I guess Andrew and I looking at that through our green and gold hearts, right? Ensuing possession, you guys are on defense now. Scrappy Norman takes the ball. I believe it was some sort of an end around. He's tackled in the backfield, but prior to that, it looks like the ball's out. Looks like Rustlers recover it. But what was the explanation you got on the field? Was the ball blown dead prior to the ball popping out?
Yeah, there was a strip. Hunter Margain stripped the ball. But it was still kind of tied up. They went to the ground. Hunter had the ball on his chest. The running back falls on top of Hunter, still battling to try to get the ball back. I don't believe that the referee who's standing back there ever saw that the ball was stripped. You can pretty clearly see it in the video. He claimed he did not ever see the ball loose on the ground. So it wasn't a determination of where his progress stopped. It was that the referee did not feel that ball ever came loose. It was clearly in Hunter's possession. Now on the ground, did the running back get it back? Because if the ref doesn't see it, he's generally not going to call it. Our best hope is that we can come up with the ball and influence the referee that way. But it was a funky deal because it was in super close quarters where he got the ball. And then the scrum on the ground did not help the matter because it then looks like it's at least a tie. And as we were saying, the tie often goes to the offense, the original ball carrier.
The last play, same possession, so 4th down. Get a stop here. You have an opportunity to go down on offense and maybe tie up the game. Instead, there's an offsides. It's 4th and 1. There's an offsides called on your defense, and that gives them automatic first down. They're able to run out the clock. From upstairs where we were, it looked like there was a snap infraction against the center. It looked like he was doing something with the ball that caused your guys to jump. Did you see that snap infraction, or what did you get from the referees on that one?
We saw the left guard, but we did not actually see. There's always a little bit of movement with the center, on the ball, so he can rotate it and tilt it properly. Didn't really see that. We did see, as I believe it was Bobby Oriano, he did lunge, caught himself, never lost his 3-point stance, had to put his other hand back down. So that's really the argument, is that he doesn't go into the neutral zone if he's never losing his 3-point stance. But because of his movement, the offensive left guard moved, and so they're going to call us on the encroachment. I am under the understanding that as long as we do not go into the neutral zone, that it cannot be our fault. But they did feel that he got into the neutral zone. So if you look at it that way, then again, it's their call to make. We're putting the referees in situations where we're allowing them to have too much of an influence on the game. If we don't put ourselves in that situation, then we don't have to worry about that.
And again, we're not trying to come down on the refs by any means. I always like to get your take from down there on the field about maybe what you got. I will say this, however, he's not going to say it. I will. We're at Chaffey inside a visiting press box, and there are even some Chaffey people up there after the game talking to myself and my partner Andrew King, who I broadcast the games with on Saturdays. They were kind of scratching their heads like, well, we don't know, but we'll take it. Of course, it was the first win for them in their home opener. Now, that's all buried, gone, on to Cerritos now. Yep. They have a legend of a head coach over there in Frank Mazzota, who, interestingly enough, looks like local sportscaster Gary Miller, who I'm sure many of you at home have watched and seen throughout the years. Very, very strong resemblance of the two. You pop in the tape of the Cerritos, what do you see? This is a team that picked up their first win of the season last week as well.
Good football team, without a doubt. It would appear to be a typical Cerritos team, although we have not played Cerritos in probably 6 years.
Not as long.
So.
I don't think as long as I've been here.
It's been a long time. They're big. They are physical. They've got an excellent running back. The quarterback is good. He's not great. The receivers are they're long and they're fast, and one of them is someone who we highly touted and recruited and did not get, who's playing well over there. Defensively, they're going to be very big and strong up front, and they'll try to dominate the fronts. They've got some good-sized linebackers, and the DBs are fast. It's a good football team. The fact that they're 1-2 like ourselves is, as I would say, also like us, is very misleading. They lost a home opener an away opener to LA Valley, who is very good this year. Then they come back and they face a really good Fullerton team and lost there. And then they go down, they beat one of our conference teams, Palomar. So, and they probably should have beaten Palomar. So they may be doing what they should have done through those 3 games with 2 very tough opponents early on. But I mean, we expect nothing but a very good team to come in here and a physical team. But, as the week goes, we'll figure them out and know what we need to do, to have success, to be able to move the ball and to be able to stop them. But it's surely not going to be an easy week of practice trying to get our guys right and healthy at the same time. And it's not going to be an easy game on Saturday. It'll be a physical game again, probably much like the Riverside game. I wouldn't say the Chaffey game was a very physical game, but the physicality of the Riverside game, which many of us are still, feeling the effects of, it will be very similar to that one, I believe.
Jacob Gasser leads this team in receiving yards, over 100 yards through 3 games. That name maybe sounds familiar to you. Local kid out of Los Alamitos High School. Keyshawn Holmes leading tailback on that team. Prep fans probably know of him from his days at Vista Marietta. And if you hear me saying Nick Mitchell all night long, it's not because he's switching out of his Rustler gold and green and putting on the blue and white of the Falcons. It's because the quarterback of the Falcons' name is actually Nick Mitchell. So we say Nick Mitchell all night long on Saturday night, just so you know. My partner Andrew King wanted me to ask you a question about the stack formation, and we talk about this all the time. He loves this formation where you stack the receivers on each side. What type of an advantage does that give to your offense? And he wants me to ask you when or if we can see more of it.
Well, we will primarily do it to have an effect on the defense if it's a man type of situation, so they cannot easily press our wide receivers. So if we feel that they're going to be in a man situation and we do not particularly like the matchups of our receivers versus their press corners, then any sort of stack or bunch formation is really kind of what we can do, what an offense can do to counteract, a good press or man team. Also, if you spread them out, you have the ability to say if you have 2 stacked receivers out wide, the defense is forced to either just have one person out there covering or bring a whole second guy way out of the box or out of the secondary to cover. And if they don't, you have an easy, quick 2-on-1 matchup out there. And that's the other reason, is to see kind of how the defense will react to it and to see if you can get something easy out there. We'll also bring them in tight We have tight bunch formations, tight stack formations, close to the line of scrimmage. Again, sometimes that is to get more blockers at the point of attack. There's always the counter to that where you also bring more of the defense into the box as well. We did work with some of that this past week, some of the bunch, which Coach Ship has in his arsenal. It did not turn out to probably be as effective as we thought it would be, and primarily because it brought more of the defenders into the box and we struggled picking up the blocking assignments. And actually, when we went more to traditional spreading out the defense later in that second half is when we started really opening up the runs for, I know that, Gabriel Ford was injured and had to leave the game. But Levante Tolliver had some nice runs, and that was, again, once we spread out the defense by spreading out our formation as to having tighter sets like we had in that first half when we were not getting those runs.
How is Gabe? Gabriel. Someone told me to call him Gabriel. I don't want
Gabriel. He sees a doctor today, but he's probably going to be out for a week or so, maybe, possibly back for Long Beach, or if not, after the bye.
Any good news on the injury front?
We have 2 key players seeing the doctor today. Zamari Manning, our wide receiver, and Adam Vance, our quarterback. We hope to get good news on both of those young men, but we're prepared to continue playing without them. And also Sebastian DiMartini, our defensive tackle, who is still battling some deep bone bruises in his knees, probably will not be back this week either, most likely for Long Beach. And then our middle linebacker, Joseph Inda, who still has the pulled hamstring. He's going to give it a go this week. He really, truly wants to play. It's very aggravating. It's a hamstring issue, but often some of the toughest injuries to bounce back from is really almost a chronic hamstring with him right now. I hate to say that because it's scary, but it is probably something that's going to affect him the whole season.
Trevin Kahuna-Nui filled in admirably, but of course you want Big Joe Inda in there as your Mike linebacker. Rustlers get back at it this Saturday at home. So we're back at LaBard. We'll have that for you live right here on SportsNetUSA.net. 6 p.m. kickoff. It'll be the Rustlers and the Falcons. Thanks so much, Coach. We appreciate you
Rahshaun,
joining us here, as always, on the Rustlers Review. And don't forget, the Rustlers Review on SportsNetUSA.net is brought to you by Chronic Tacos, Huntington Beach at Terra. Make sure you stop by for a burrito today. This monster of a meal is made with a 13-inch tortilla, customized however you want it. Rice, beans, toppings, any type of protein you want. They got the chicken, the carne asada, al pastor, all for just $6.99. Of course, they also have options like sauteed or beer-battered fish or shrimp. Those are also available. Go on down to Chronic Tacos, Huntington Beach, located on the Edinger side of the Terra Shopping Center, 7621 Edinger Avenue, right next to the Corner Bakery restaurant. Or you can call them 714-890-6100. Chronic Tacos, Huntington Beach at Terra. Make sure you visit today. We're going to get Sheldon White in here. He's our Chronic Tacos Player of the Week.
Hey guys, welcome to Chronic Tacos in Terra, Huntington Beach. My name's Caleb Walker. I'm the owner and operator. Chronic Tacos has been around for 14 years. We have over 40 locations across the nation. We're known for our excellent customer service, custom ordering, and fresh ingredients. Please come check us out. Thanks.
For the Rustlers, a team high 8 receptions, 92 yards. We talked about that 31-yard reception that he had. This is coming off a 4-catch, 51-yard performance the week prior against Riverside, which actually led the team. So they led the team in receptions consecutive weeks. Sheldon, thanks so much for coming in here.
Thanks for having me.
Joining us. Seems like you're starting to get into a groove a little bit here with this offense. Tell me how you feel like you're fitting in.
I'm fitting in pretty well at the slot position. I think it's more of getting the playbook wrapped around our heads, getting the flow of things a lot better as every week goes on. We're trying to take it day by day, get better and better.
What's the talk inside the locker room like with the guys? I mean, it's been a tough couple of weeks. I mean, you had a Riverside team against the ropes. You could have had that one, and then you play a Chaffey team, and you had some more offensive issues as well. But that was a game that likely could have. I mean, if you play the entire game like you played that fourth quarter, it's probably a different game. Probably not even close, right?
Right. Yeah. Correct.
So what's the talk like in the locker room right now with the guys?
Most of the guys, we all know that, so we're trying to just stick on our assignments, do what we can do inside the playbook, inside everything, our scheme that we could do to make it a different outcome on Saturdays.
Adam Vance is from Visalia also. Do you guys?
Yeah.
Did you guys play at the same high school?
No, we were across town, but we played a little bit of youth ball together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys known each other for?
Yeah, we've been playing against each other since we were like 6, 7 years old. So we've known each other for a long time now.
What's his did he have any role in you coming here at all, or?
Yeah, he had the starting quarterback role. I mean, he's injured right now, so we're still waiting on him to get back, get healthy. But yeah, like I said, he's just sticking to his assignment. And
no, I mean in terms of you coming here to Golden West, did he have any effect on that?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. I was over at the University of Nevada, and I had talked to him a little bit, weighed out my options a little bit. It wasn't working out there, and yeah, he kind of stepped in and gave me some advice and said how his experience was here, how he loved the coaches, loved the team, and yeah, gave me a visit over here, and I liked it. So yeah, I went with it.
So you played for Coach Polian?
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
What was that experience like?
It was a great experience. I mean, it didn't work out for a couple reasons, but my experience there, it was awesome. I got some really good coaching that I've taken with me here to make me a better student and athlete as well. So it was a good experience.
Nice. What's it like playing for Coach Mitchell?
It's great. I mean, I love everything he does on and off the field. He takes academics way seriously, which is very good for us as a team. He's definitely a great leader to be under. So.
Talk to me a little bit about your role as a slot receiver. There was a guy here a couple years ago, or the last couple of years prior to you coming here, Quest Truxton. I'm sure you probably heard that name, right? I'm sure you can't walk around this campus and not have heard. I'm sure you probably heard his name once or twice, right?
Yeah.
This role can be so dynamic, and there's so many fits for you as a slot receiver in this offense. How do you think it plays to your strengths the most?
I think the main thing is it's more the mental side. You got to take on a lot of blocks from the linebackers, take them out of the routes, open up your other receivers. So there's definitely more of a mental side to it at the slot position that you got to face. But like Quest, I've looked at his film and got a lot of coaching that he got. So I'm trying to be the best replacement I can.
And you return punts like he did also.
Yeah.
Right? Now, what's that like? I mean, to me, I feel like the job of a punt returner may be the scariest job on the football field, right? Because, I mean, it's basically 21 guys running in your direction. I mean, some of them are your teammates, but there's just footsteps on top of footsteps, and you got to focus on the ball, but you also got to see if these guys are in front of you. How close are they closing in? Do I fair catch? Do I not? Like, what's that like? Take me through your mindset from the time that the snap is made up until the time that you catch the ball.
All right, it's definitely nerve-wracking, but as soon as the ball snaps and kicked, I try to get my look and see where they're at, and then from there you just got to keep your eye on the ball. I mean, you can't really get a second look, or else it's going to take you off of your plan, and then you're going to have some troubles back there getting the punt safely, which I did last week. But I think we're going to get that worked out this week, and hopefully that won't happen again.
That was a tough catch, tough attempt by you. It was almost like Willie Mays style, right? You're trying to catch it.
It was a little bit behind me. Should have just let it go, but I was trying to go over the shoulder grab. But it was tough to get to.
What's that like when you go back to the sideline after a play like that? I mean, I'm sure I know your teammates are probably picking you up. What are some of the things that they're saying? And also, how do you turn the page? Because you got a touchdown pass after that.
Well, I was trying not to be rattled. I was obviously upset with myself, trying not to let it get the best of me. But I had all these coaches in my ear, Coach Tag, Coach Perkins. They were all just telling me to keep my head up, and I'll get my shot, and I did. Thankfully from Adam, that was a good ball. Let me recover from it.
Coach Tag, Junior Tagaloa, wide receivers coach, and Chris Perkins also coaches wide receivers here for the Rustlers. Now, you ready to have some fun?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. It's 1st and 10. It's our segment we do here each and every week. 10 questions, rapid fire. We're just going to zip through them. You give me your best answer. First thing comes to your mind.
Okay,
all right?
Got it.
Nickname.
What was that?
Nickname,
Shelly.
Shelly. Where'd that come from?
From my youth team when I was about 10 years old. One of my coaches brought it up, and it's stuck ever since.
Nice. Hobbies.
Hobbies, snowboarding and wakeboarding probably are my main two.
Can't do those during the season.
I know. I only got a little time frame to do it, but I definitely get it in when I can.
Did you get to do any of that when you were in Reno?
Yeah, a little bit of snowboarding before the season started.
Okay. Does Coach Mitchell know about that?
Nah, I don't think
All right,
so.
we won't
I don't
tell
think
him.
he's got to know.
We won't tell him. Late night snack.
Late night snack. Ooh, probably some Oreos. Oreos and milk.
Or is it? You know who said that?
Who did?
Gabriel Ford.
Did he?
He said that. He said he likes to dunk them and all that too.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys- nice.
A double stuff.
Favorite meal?
Favorite meal? Chicken Alfredo. Fettuccine.
Hey, all right. Little
Further-
garlic bread on the side?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my man.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Favorite team, any sport?
Packers. Green Bay Packers.
Green
I
Bay
like-
Packers.
Yeah.
Always been a cheesehead fan?
Actually, not too recent. It's been recent since Devontae Adams has been on the squad.
Okay.
So he came out of Fresno.
Fresno State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ever since he's been on the squad, I've been following them a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a great guy to follow. I saw him play at Fresno State. It was just unfair what he was
Yeah.
doing in those defensive
Yeah.
backs. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I've got to say This Is the End with Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen.
Okay.
Comedy.
Okay. Who would play you in a movie?
Who would play me in a movie? Probably Mark Wahlberg.
Mark
I just gotta
Wahlberg.
Got to get a little bit more beef on me, but I'd say Mark Wahlberg, hopefully.
Okay. Nice. Number 85. Is there a reason behind that number?
No, I mean, I had to just choose pretty briefly between the 80s, and my first option was going to be 13 to represent an old coach of mine. But 85 was there, so I went and grabbed it, Ocho Cinco.
Yeah, you can't talk to Nick Ebanks about getting that number?
I mean,
maybe buy him a
maybe we can work
burger or
something
something. Take him down to Chronic Tacos,
Yeah,
give him a couple tacos.
I'll try to talk to him about it.
Favorite sports memory?
Favorite sports memory? Probably scoring my first touchdown here by Adam Vance, old childhood friend, throwing me my first college touchdown. It was a pretty special
Little
moment.
Visalia connection
Yeah.
there. Okay. Celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush? Probably Megan Fox.
Megan Fox. Okay.
Megan Fox. She's always been a crush of mine since Transformers came out.
First,
About
all right.
10 years old.
First and 10, we get that. Not too hard, right?
No,
We
not too hard.
breeze right through that. A couple of thoughts on Cerritos. I'm sure you've watched a little bit of film on them so far. What are your thoughts about facing that defense?
They're a good, fast, physical defense that I think we got a lot of things in our playbook that I think is going to work, and we'll see Saturday. We're going to come out and give it our best and see what happens.
Saturday, 6 p.m., live from Labard. We'll have it for you to be the Rustlers and the Falcons right here on SportsNetUSA.net. This has been the Chronic Tacos Rustlers Review right here on SportsNetUSA.net. Special thanks, as always, to our guests, Nick Mitchell, also Sheldon White, for coming through and hanging out with us. We want to say a very special thanks to the TSS folks here at Golden West College, the athletic department as well, and also the fine folks right here inside the Student Center. Van Vu is our camera operator. Ed Ford is our operations manager. Once again, I'm Rahshaun Haylock, the voice of the Golden West Rustlers. You have been tuning in to the Chronic Tacos Rustlers Review, brought to you by Chronic Tacos Terra right here on SportsNetUSA.net.